Hi again, everybody. Welcome to TV 15, talking all things Muskogee Rougher football. Bill Huddleston here with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. A slow start, but I said it at halftime. What the Roughers have to do is start fast, finish strong, and that's exactly what happened in the win over Bartlesville.
Well, we did. You know, luckily the opening second half kickoff, Jimmy takes to the house, and it kind of got the momentum going. And even though we missed the extra point or the 2-point conversion because we missed our first extra point, which is becoming an aggravating little thing, but we were working on it. But played really well in the second half. First half offensively was just absolutely horrible. I thought the defensively played really well. They didn't have anything other than the 2 post routes, and as soon as we put Ty in there, you know, we realized that Ty is the best safety that we have. If Ty was not the quarterback, he would be the starting safety,
right.
And you know that. And I still think he's going to he is a good quarterback. He's going to be a great quarterback. He's going to be, I think, a Division I type quarterback. He's for sure a Division I type safety. But, you know, until it gets to the other night was a must-win, so we had to put him in the secondary. You know, this week's not. We probably won't see him back there a whole lot. And then whoever we play in the playoffs, then you'll probably see him back there again. You know, I had a quarterback in 2002 in the state championship game. He hadn't played the whole year in defense, but we had a guy named Robert Meacham that played for Booker T that we had to put him on, and Meacham had 2 catches the whole night. And so you got to do what you got to do whenever it comes time, but you want to try to keep your quarterback healthy as much as possible throughout the year. But you know, we had some people say, well, gosh, that was a great move. You should have had Ty back there all year long. Well, no kidding. We realized Ty is the best guy that we could have back there, but you know, you don't want to have to go both ways if you don't have to with your quarterback.
For everything, there is a time and a place.
That's for sure.
And speaking of time and places, the Roughers were at the right place at the right time, and it started really in the first half defensively. We're going to take a look at some of our highlights from last Friday night's ball game.
Again, the defense came out strong. We knew that our front four had to dominate and felt like that they could, and they did all night long. I tell you, Nakari Ruffin, who will be our guest today, and Davion Williams, they were just incredible in there. And then we also got great play by Jeremiah Jarrett and Bigelow. You know, they both played well. I think our linebackers feel pretty good, but played really well. I think we had 3 fourth-down stops on the night. This was big on the first drive. There's Webb, you know, our player of the week last week, getting another strip and then recovering the fumble. We come out here, I think this was a 4th down play right there, as a matter of fact, on our option game. But first half was just pretty malign offensively. You know, we had some big plays like this, but somehow we'd end up figuring out a way of messing up. We'd get a penalty, and we're still, you know,
This is huge right here, Coach.
Well, this is as good a play as you want. He reads it, and then there's just no denying. That's where that 600-pound squat comes in, and that guy was doing everything, trying to pull his pants down and all, and couldn't get it done. Nakari didn't care. He was going in with half his rear showing and running over a tailback or the quarterback. So Nakari, like I said, 15 tackles on the night, a fumble recovery, and an interception for a touchdown. As a nose guard, I don't know that you can get much better than that.
Absolutely.
I think we're still in the first half here. Jimmy, you know, in the first half probably had, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 yards rushing. Second half, which a lot of that's due to the line play, but second half ended up, I think, on the night with 172 yards overall. Had a couple of receptions. Davion Wilson had a great game the other night, had 7 catches. There's Webb again. That's a big 4th down play in the second half. Here's Jimmy again. This is starting second half play, and you know, he starts getting these, when he can start getting these 20 and 22 and 24 yard chunks, it's things are going well for us. And again, the blocking was so much better, and then just on the perimeter there, you can see our receivers doing a great job. And there's a good escape, and then we get the face mask also, and then hits Connor in the end zone. Those two are becoming pretty good together.
Yeah, they kind of became a 1-2 combination, haven't they?
Yeah, and here's Davion Davis. Davion Wilson. I keep calling Davis because we got Darian Davis.
That's exactly right.
We got Day and Davion. We got several of them to get. But here, I wish we could rewind that one right there and see some perimeter blocking out there by our wide receivers. That was just our little elephant play. And Jimmy takes it to the house, and here we started wearing them out. Coach got into a brown and blue set with the tight end. They really had no answer for it. They did a good job in the first half because they knew they was going to stop our zone play, and you know, they were pinching their tackles, which we've seen all year long. but they were pinching the tackles and making sure that we was going to have to go to outside. Once we adjusted that and started going outside, a lot of it was, us and started hitting them outside, and they couldn't run with us. And the biggest thing I was proud of is their tailback, had been averaging about 250 yards in the games that he was playing in. And the other night, we didn't go back and count it. The paper said he had 120, so that was on about 25 carries. So I thought we did a really good job of stopping him.
Absolutely, but the main thing was you had to, and you did get the win, and that gets you into the postseason playoffs. Now, a game coming up this Friday night against the Bixby Spartans. It will be senior night. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. We're going to take our first time out, and when we come in to segment number 2, we'll give you a chance to meet the guy that literally drug one would-be tackler to the end zone and then ran over another guy as he celebrated after that pass interception. Nakari Ruffin will join us. That after this timeout, you're watching TV 15. Welcome back to TV 15, Muskogee Rougher Football. I'm Bill Huddleston with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. And last Friday night, Coach, even though the offense wasn't going to work, this man and the defensive line came to work and made a big difference in keeping the Roughers in the ballgame through the first 2 quarters.
Right. Well, Nakari's just had a great season all year long. He's our leading tackler, and that's pretty hard to do as a nose guard because nose guard on our team is going to always get double teamed. And so whenever you're sitting there with, I think he's up to 81 tackles now, the biggest thing is that the other night was it's kind of a nose guard's dream is to get an interception. Of course, he read the screen perfect, and then to also score on it. So he's sitting there, and he's got a better track line than the DBs do right now because we've got some with interceptions, but none of them have a TD out beside their interception. So he has that. So, he's sitting great. He's just been solid for us all year long, and his leadership for us with as few as seniors as we have has just been outstanding, and we couldn't ask for a lot more out of Nakari. Very proud of him.
Well, let's go back to that moment in time last Friday night against Bartlesville. You kind of knew what to expect, but what was it that got you prepared to be able to read that play and then make the play and take it into the end zone?
Coach Potter and Coach Magnac have us practice that almost every day at practice, so I knew it was coming. I'd seen the offensive lineman let me go, so I just started reading it.
Now you drop back, but then you're thinking, he's going to throw the ball to me. What was going through your mind at that time?
I don't know. I had really already visioned it at school that day.
Drop the ball.
And I thought it was going to be a one-hand catch. That was what I visioned, but it wasn't. But I got it, and I wasn't going to let him stop me.
Now, Coach talked about you dragging the would-be tackler into the end zone from about 10 yards out. I have to think all the work you've done in the weight room with the squats and everything else gave you the extra amount of power that you needed to be able to drag that tackler into the end zone and then be able to celebrate with your teammates.
Yes, sir. We put in a lot of hard work in the offseason. It paid off.
Now, you, Davion, all night long were getting double teamed. I mean, they would decide, okay, well, last time he made the play, so we'll double team him. Next time he makes the play, so we'll double team him. How do you get off those situations and still find yourself to the top of the tackle chart?
That's another thing we working on double teams. I don't know. It's Coach Magnac. He helps us with it.
Kind of fun to see a guy who played in that situation be able to relate with you. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Coach also talked about this being your senior season and a feeling of responsibility of leadership. There's not a lot of seniors out there, but as one of those playmaking seniors, what do you feel like's been your responsibility with such a young group that has now begun to mature?
Especially on like bad plays and stuff, I try to keep everybody's heads up so another bad play doesn't happen. I don't know. I just try to be the best leader I can be.
Now
he's doing a great job of being a leader.
He absolutely is doing that, and he showed that by his efforts last Friday night. Coach, 15 tackles, right?
15 tackles the other night. Again, from a nose guard that's getting double teamed, that's just unheard of.
Absolutely. Now this week it's going to be the final time as a senior in the regular season playing at Indian Bowl. Have you begun to think about that and what it's going to be going through your head as you get ready to walk onto that artificial surface for the last time?
Yeah, I was thinking if I'm going to be nervous or not, but I don't think I'll be nervous. It'll be a sad moment, but it's life.
Coach, probably the first time that offensive lineman from Bixby smacks him, all those nerves will be gone.
Everything will be gone. It's just a normal game after that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But a guy that certainly had his moment in the spotlight last week in the win over Bartlesville Nakari Ruffin, and he'll hope to turn 32 into doubling those tackles this week, Coach, and matching his uniform number.
We got a great chance if he can do that.
Absolutely. Nakari Ruffin, our guest. When Coach and I come back, it'll be time to talk about that senior night matchup against the Bixby Spartans when we come back on TV 15. Back on TV 15, Bill Huddleston with Rafe Watkins, head coach and the Muskogee Ruffers coach. We have raced through the regular season. We're down to the final regular season game of the year. It is senior night for just 6, 7 seniors that'll be walking on the field this week, and it's against the number 1 team in the state, the Bixby Spartans.
Well, Bixby, you know, since they've started the 6A2, 6A1 split, they are the team that everybody's comparing themselves to and wanting to achieve to be. If you say you're not, you're kind of jealous, you know, but that's the truth. You want to try to be with them. Last year, Booker T was able to finally stop their streak of championships, but they're still, year in and year out, they're going to be there. People thought they lost a lot of kids last year, which they did. But I'll be honest, I think this could probably be their best team yet. I don't know, they may disagree over there, but you know, they lost the opening game to Jinx, and since then they've been on a roll, and I think that team that they beat over there from Texas is still undefeated since that loss. So they're outstanding, very well coached first off. Their kids do a great job in the weight room. It shows off with their strength.
Sure.
They're not quite as big as they've been in the past, but I still think they move people better. They're a little quicker up front. They've got the 2 Presley brothers that can outrun anybody in the state. You know, they've got Booker T, which they come from Booker T, but they run like those guys there, and they're an outstanding football team. We've got to play our very best, there's no doubt.
It's nice, though, going into this game knowing you've already got that invitation to the playoffs. Where you go will be determined by what happens on Friday night.
Yeah, you know, for us, we win and we're third. The thing is, we're either going to go to Midwest City or we're going to go to Stillwater. Those are a given. You know, if Stillwater loses to Del City, which there's a possibility of, but Del City would have to win by 8 over there. That would make Midwest City the district champion, and then if we were 4th, then we'd go to Midwest City, which is a possibility because Stillwater lost their tailback last week. And, you know, the only time that they haven't had him this year against Lawton, they had that untimed down,
right.
And Lawton is not near as good as Del City. So it could be interesting, but one way or the other, we're either going to go to Midwest City or Stillwater, whether we win, lose, or whatever, and how the rest of it goes out. But those 2 are the teams that we'll be playing against. But like you said, the good thing is we're in with this group, and as young as we were at the start of the year, that was our goal. And if you're in, you got a 1 in 8 chance of going on, and that's what we want. That's all we can ask for, is to have a chance, and we've done that. You know, this week is going to be, you know, with a lot of emotions because we have 6 seniors that's going to be going on the field for the last time. We've got 3 young ladies that's trainers and water girls for us that will be going out with us. So I guess we have 9 seniors that will be getting introduced for the last time at the Indian Bowl. But they've been great kids, great leaders for us. And again, you know, with the things that's all happened in the last year with this senior group, I couldn't be more proud of the young men that's going to be walking across that field. While few in numbers, they are great leaders and great young men, and they're off to do great things as well in their life.
Absolutely, and they'll look to do great things Friday night when they take on the Bixby Spartans. We want to make sure that you'll be there. It is a 7 o'clock kickoff. The senior festivities will be before the game, so you'll want to get there early and be in your seat to enjoy that celebration and kind of applaud what they've contributed to Muskogee Ruffer football. And then
one
watch
more
as the
thing
Ruffers
too, Bill, if
play
we
Bixby.
can. This Friday night, we've already, and Coach Montgomery's talking to his people about it. At the end of the first quarter, we're going to have a pass the pail for Coach Kennard over at Sand Springs that's going through the chemo right now for the pancreatic cancer. We'd talked about it on here after we played Sand Springs. But at the end of the first quarter, because we know we'll be introducing people before the game and at halftime, so at the end of the first quarter, we're going to have people with the little red buckets in the stands, and hopefully you can bring out your change, your dollars, whatever you've got, going toward a good cause to try to help him with travel and food and places that he's going whenever he's going to fight this horrible disease. But again, Friday night at the end of the first quarter, if you can have your money ready, we're going to be passing around the red pails, and it going to a great cause with Coach Kennard over at Sand Springs.
It's all part of the brotherhood of not
Yep.
just coaching, but high school football and high school athletics and wrapping your arms around each other in a time of need. So be there for that event. Be there on Friday night to enjoy senior night as the Muskogee Ruffers take on the Bixby Spartans. And Coach, I'm ready to go dancing.
Oh, well, I'm ready to go and see who we're playing and get ready for that. But we've got a big game ahead of us. You know, and our kids look forward, and we know they're good every year. And but our kids look forward to playing Bixby each and every year because we know that that's the standard, and we want to see how we stack up against it. And you know, for the most part, we've played pretty good against these guys, but we want to see where we're at right now with these young guys and how much we've improved since the first of the season.
That'll be Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. If for some reason you can't make the trip, you're going to be out of town perhaps, don't forget you can always follow it online at MuskogeeAthletics.com. For head coach Rafe Watkins and our hero of this past week, Nakari Ruffin, I'm Bill Huddleston saying so long, and as always, it's a great day to be a Ruffer.